my name is Tate, and today I'm going to be doing the Avengers Book Tag. I will link the original tag in the description. I can't remember the name of the person who made it, but I'll put it here or somewhere. I'm wearing my Marvel shirt right now. I'm just hiding it under this flannel, which I'm going to regret because it's like 70 degrees outside, but you gotta do what you gotta do to look cute and gay. Basically, it just has a bunch of prompts based on the Avengers characters, and then you just say a book or a theme or whatever that relates to it, so we're just gonna get into it. The first one is Iron Man, which is a book that started your love for a genre, and for this one I'm gonna pick Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becker Albertalli. Before this book, I hadn't been into contemporary for a very long time. Low-key never? Low-key. Because I don't know, before then I just had this kind of weird view of contemporary that I just kind of viewed it often as always just dumb romances that didn't have anything backing them, that weren't good. I was in that bad mindset that fantasy was always better or things like that. And then I read this book and I was like, wait, shit. Contemporaries can be really good, and you don't have to be in a fantasy world for it to be a meaningful book and for it to be deep and to cover a lot of topics and stuff. And this is also just one of my favorite books of all time, so like, it deserves the spot of Iron Man. And it's read just like Iron Man. And it also made me cry just like Iron Man. Okay, we're gonna put it away. Next prompt is Captain America, which is a book that's not set in our present time, whether it's past or the future. And for this I'm picking The Night Circus by Aaron Morgenstern. This book is set in the past. It's set in the late 1800s to early 1900s, I think. It spans a lot of years. If you don't know what it's about, there's this circus that it's only open at night and appears randomly, and it's like nothing you've ever seen before, and behind the scenes, these two magicians have this competition going between their two apprentices, that's the word, and those two people accidentally start to cooperate and fall in love, not knowing how the circus and the game is supposed to end. It's very good, I recommend it, but it's not set in the future, or no, it's not set in the present, so there's that. The next prompt is for Thor, which is, what character do you think could lift Thor's hammer, is worthy enough? I'm gonna say Aragorn from The Fellowship of the Ring, or just the whole Lord of the Rings trilogy by J.R.R. Tolkien. I don't know if this is basic, but like, come on. Aragorn is that bitch. Aragorn literally is so selfless, so brave, so strong. Movies and in the books. Played by fucking Viggo Mortensen. He could pick it up. You can bet your ass that Aragorn could pick that hammer up. He'd be swinging it without even knowing. The next one is Black Widow, and this is a character that deserves a spinoff. First of all, I'm holding up the big, huge Harry Potter instead of the normal one because I don't want to mess up this setup I have. But I would love to see, theoretically, the Marauders spinoff, but also way too terrified that J.K. Rowling will fuck it up. But I will just take all the fanfics of the Marauders era of seeing James and Lily and Sirius and Lupin and I guess that Peter dude, because I love them. And I miss them, and sometimes I just think about them, especially James and Lily, and I just go, wow, I really am emo. But yeah, there's my answer. You gotta have one basic one per thing, right? In my case, like 7. The next one is Hawkeye, which is an author whose books always strike right into the heart. Basically kind of like an auto-buy kind of author if you buy a lot of books. And for me, this is Rick Riordan. I randomly grabbed the Battle of the Labyrinth. I'm trash, okay? I love Rick Riordan. I've always looked at Rick Riordan stories, and the further Rick Riordan gets with his stories, the more diversity he puts in them, the more fun they are sometimes. I'm emo and I love him. The next one is Doctor Strange, and that is, if you could go back in time and change any moment in a book or a series, what would you do? Might be spoilers if you haven't read City of Bones or watched Shadowhunters, although probably everyone knows this, but I wouldn't have that whole incest plotline thing we had going on. I'm just gonna delete it. Like, I know that's not a moment, but like, can we just delete the moment where he said they were siblings? Valentine, and then just like not have that happen. Let's just not. Because I remember when I read that, I immediately looked up on Google, are they siblings? Because I didn't want to keep reading if I was shipping incest. And they were like, no, it's not, but they don't reveal it until book 3. So book 2 was a fucking ride. But yeah, we're just gonna take out the incest. Okay? This is at you, book Twitter. No incest. I'm really about to get a hate comment for that one. Next one is Black Panther, which is a book that deserves its hype. First of all, Black Panther deserves the hype. And for this one, I'm gonna say The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. I just finished the series recently, and oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. All I can say is it deserves the hype. Bish, it made me cry. Next one is Spider-Man. I said my baby. And this is a trope or a genre that you would never get tired of hearing. And this one, it might be a little too specific, but I love when in a couple, or even in a platonic relationship, but I usually see this in a relationship, a monogamous relationship, where you have the tall one and you have the small one. And then the tall one gets either hurt or is like in a lot of pain emotionally or physically, and the small one protects them or comforts them. That's my shit. That is my shit. Let's see, where can I think of it? Like in Angel Fall, whenever Penryn helps Rafi. In Check Please, whenever when Biddy comforts Jack. Oh, or in like A Curse So Dark and Lonely, when Harper helps Red, like comforts Red and protects Red. Oh, that's my shit. That is my shit. Winter Soldier is the next one, and this is a moment that made you change your entire outlook on a book or a series and all the moments that came before. And for me, that would be the end of Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. If you haven't read the series, obviously mute this or something, but you probably have. If you haven't, that's fine, but like read it. At the end of this book, honestly this whole book, first of all, that they get put back in the ring, that made me realize like, oh shit's happening. But at the end when they were like, District 12 is dead. Like this series already is willing to like kill off characters. It's willing to pull a lot of shit, to put people in a lot of danger. But like seeing that their home was completely burned down, that you didn't know who was alive or dead, and then ending it there, like that really, I was like, oh shit, they're really willing to do that. And then that just led to all of Mockingjay, all of that. So this kind of prepared me, even if it hurt a lot. Falcon is a main character who never really got the spotlight or got to be appreciated as much as they should have. First of all, I appreciate that we said that Falcon for this question, because Falcon does deserve so much more love, and I'm so excited for that spin-off series. Oh my god. For this one, I am definitely saying Grover from all the Rick Riordan books in general. I specifically picked up Sea of Monsters because I just like thinking of Grover in that wedding dress. I just love it. But hear me out. Grover is one of the 3 main characters in this book. And he often is pushed aside in this series, and then once you get to Heroes of Olympus, he just stops existing, and it pisses me off because he was one of the main trio. He was Percy's best friend. That's by one of my biggest things with Rick Riordan. Why did you take him away from me? Why didn't you do that? It's like, okay, do you know that meme where it's like, I love my 3 children, blank, blank, and looks at smudge writing at him and says it wrong? That's literally this trio. It's like Rick Riordan's like, oh, I love my original trio. Percy, Annabeth, and looks at smudge writing in hand. Grovel. That's literally how it goes once you get to Heroes of Olympus. And I'm still bitter about it because Grover's such a good character. And I love him. Thank you, that is all. Enchiladas for life. The next book is Hoke, and this is which book made you Hulk out? And I'm interpreting this obviously as like rage. This book for me is definitely Orbiting Jupiter by Gary D. Schmidt. If you follow me on Twitter, you might have seen this experience I had a while ago where I was saying, what do I do if I really hate an arc or a book in general that I don't want to give it to anyone else? I don't want anyone else to see it, but obviously I don't want to keep it. Some people were saying, just recycle it. Then we got, I can't remember who said it, but I'll put them here because they had the brilliant idea that I should just burn it. They were just like, burn the bitch. Some people were saying, oh, you could use it for like arts and crafts. But it was just making me so mad that I knew I'd hate myself if I saw it in anything. So my solution was just, for this book, which is what I was talking about, to just, first of all, mark it up. Like, not mark it up as in like, oh, my notes, but like to like write like, fuck this over all the last pages and then start ripping it up. I think I still have it on the floor somewhere. Let me get it. Here you are, you pile of shit. So it's in a little bit of pieces, but here's the book. Yeah. Here's a little piece of the cover. There it is. And if you look at the end of this book, at the last few pages, I started marking it up very, very angrily. Yeah, I could do an entire video on how much I hate this book and how angry it made me, but just suffice to say that besides just kind of overall bad writing and just a poorly written book in my opinion, the ending of this book has made me madder than anything in a book ever has. Trigger warning for like stuff I'm about to talk about involves like teen pregnancy and abuse and stuff like that, so like if you don't want to hear any of that, just mute it. And I'll do this or something once I'm done so you can unmute it. I won't spoil the actual thing for you, although I don't recommend you read this book, so I don't necessarily think that you need to mute. But basically the ending pushed the image that things will never get better for abused kids or trouble kids, kids who are in abusive families or are teen parents or things like that. It pushes the idea that you will never be able to get away from those people. It puts the image that you're never going to be happy, that any hope you have is just going to eventually get ripped away. The ending came out of nowhere. It had literally no purpose except to be a shock value ending to get a few unwarranted tears from the reader. It took its character that was supposed to be getting hope and love and promises of a future and just ripped it to shreds. They took any emotional investment we had in any of the characters and pissed on it, and it treated it like it was just being edgy or something. This is what I wrote in the back just because I was so angry. I said Joseph deserved better. Young kids who've experienced anything like this deserve better. Fuck your shock value ending saying it'll always be bad for abused kids. Fuck you. So yeah, basically I fucking hate this book. I'm not gonna like cleaning that up, but it was worth it. The next one is Scarlet Witch, which is a character who never seems to catch a break. This is also very accurate. I feel so bad for Scarlet Witch. But for this, I'm gonna go with Percy from A Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. This poor baby. Like, if you don't know Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, Percy is not this one, but the boy that this one is in love with. And he is a black, disabled, gay man. So he's already got a lot of stuff stacked against him, especially because this is historical. He's got people being racist to him, he's got people being ableist to him, and then he gets thrown into this huge, long road trip that ends up going fucking crazy in all ways and has to deal with even his best friend and his love interest sometimes having, you know, ignorant views until he's like, you know, he does grow from them, but him thinking that he knows better. Oh, he just cannot catch a break and I just want to let him lie down. I just want to hold him in my arms and just say, it's okay. It's okay. I'll protect you. I won't let any of them come near you. Except Monty, he's doing better. He can come near you now, but like, everybody else can suck my dick. Okay, love you, Percy. Honestly, we stand Percys in this household. Percys are always good beans. Always. The next one is Vision, which is your favorite character transformation, whether this is physical, emotional, fantastical, whatever. And this one, I have chosen the AI Aiden from the Illuminae series. I'm about to spoil some stuff from Illuminae for you, so if you don't want to get spoiled for it, and I don't think you want to get spoiled for it because it's really cool, I'll again go blah when you can come back. Yeah? Cool. Or just, I guess when I just put the book down. That's helpful. When I put the book down and or flap my hands, you can come back. So if you've read this book and you're still here, Aiden was such a fucking intriguing character. Because, oh, Aiden is just so intriguing that Aiden is programmed to protect the people. But the things it does to protect the people, all of that stuff is so interesting, but just seeing Aiden's slow understanding of people and getting attached to Katie and going against some of its code and all of that kind of stuff. Oh, it was one of my favorite parts of this book, especially reading it the first time. It's just so good how they did this transformation. It's, we love that for us. We love it. Am I not merciful? The next one is War Machine, which is your favorite book BFFs. I have a lot of favorite book BFFs, but for this one I went with Francis and Aled from Radio Silence because they just really are so pure, so loving to each other. They help each other, you know, they understand each other, they help each other get out of their shells, but also be themselves and support each other through everything. Like, they are the goals. They are those bitches, and I love them. The next one is Guardians of the Galaxy, which is your favorite unlikely friendship or relationship. I'm kind of doubling up because I already talked about the series, but like, fuck you, I don't care. And that's the Gangsy, especially Blue joining the Raven Boys, because Blue always said, stay away from the Raven Boys. They're bastards. They suck. Don't go near them. And then she accidentally goes and meets all these people, and they're all like in love with each other. And also like these individual people don't make sense to be friends. Like you have the kind of like broody, doesn't care about school, loner boy. You have a poor kid from an abused family who doesn't like rich people very much. Then you have a rich boy, a rich, well-off boy who really wants to find a dead Welsh king. Then you have Noah, my baby Noah. And Noah honestly could fit in them just because Noah's so pure that you can just fit anyone with Noah. And then you have the poor girl from a psychic family who hates the Raven Boys, and somehow they all get together and fall in love. Like, they are the reason why the Raven Cycle is so good. They are that level. They are God tier level friendship. Next one is AntMan, which is your favorite book dad. And for this one, I'm gonna go with Star Carter's dad. I can't remember his actual name right now, and I don't have time to look through this book. But he was just such a good and realistic father. He was just so loving of his kids. He had a hard past, but he got through that past. He was loving to his kids, but he protected them with everything. He taught them the right lessons. He was willing to fight for what he believed, but also put his family above basically everything else. Was so generous in helping others wherever he could. Like, he was just such a good dad. And in some ways he reminded me of my dad, which made me love him even more because I love my papa so much. But yeah, I just really, all of the relationships in this book were really were really good. I really, really loved him. And I also appreciated that, you know, it gave us a black dad who had been involved in gangs and in prison and stuff, and seeing him thriving afterwards, seeing him changing and getting out of that life that society put him into, and seeing him being so loving to his wife and to his children and overcoming all of the obstacles he went through. Like, oh, I just love him. I just want to note though, as soon as it said favorite dad, I forgot it said book, and my immediate thought was just to say Tony Stark, because Tony Stark is a dad. He's Peter Parker's dad. Spoilers! And he's also Morgan's dad. Like, he's a papa. He's a papa, and I love him. Well, my laptop just died. We only have one question left, and I know what it is, so we love that. Last question is Captain Marvel. Love of my life. And that is a book or a series or a theme or genre or something that you wish had been around more when you were a kid. For me, I'm just gonna go with kind of a general, I wish that I'd seen more queer content when I was younger. Both for books like Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda or Miseducation of Cameron Post, those kind of books where like queerness is the focus, but also just more books that just have queer characters running around in them. You know, like how later on in all the Percy Jackson stuff, you just have gay characters and bi characters and gender fluid characters running around. You have, you know, just like they can just plop in the diversity in there. Because I know that was how I first found queer characters, was Nico from Heroes of Olympus and Percy Jackson. Seeing him, that was the first time I saw a queer character. And it wasn't something I would have been able to pick up if it had been like, hey, this is a gay book. There's no way I could have picked it up, because when I was really younger, I wouldn't have wanted to pick it up because I was sheltered and ignorant. And when I was a little older, I wouldn't have wanted to bring home a book that was very visibly queer to my family because I didn't want to accidentally come out. So I wish that, I guess I just wish that I could have seen more queer books when I was younger, especially ones that closeted kids like me could read without getting outed or getting people suspicious. Does that make sense? I just wanted more queer stuff, like Captain Marvel, bitches. That is all for the Avengers book tag. I am so sweaty, so we're gonna wrap this up real fast. I'm not gonna tag anyone. If you want to do it though, you can. Link me in your video. I'll be excited to watch it. I'll probably be crying because you'll say Iron Man. I'll just burst into tears, or Spider-Man. Honestly, I cry about a lot of them, but especially Iron Man. Tony Stark just makes me cry a lot. And Peter Parker. I just love my favorite dad-father relationship. It's not my fault. Anyway, I'm getting emotional. I need to leave, but like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and click that little notification bell if you want to hear from me more often. Go find me on other social media, especially Twitter, because bitches on Twitter a lot. And Avengers Assemble. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye. And I love you 3000. Oh my god! Is that legal? Look, I have the Endgame poster. I have so many conflicted feelings about this book. Movie. Love of my wife. Love of my wife, I don't like it. Okay.